Greatness demands discomfort. That is not just a statement, it is a principle that every successful person understands deeply. From the moment you decide that ordinary is no longer acceptable, you enter a world where ease is rare and challenge is constant. The path to achievement is littered with trials, obstacles, and moments that seem unbearable. Those who succeed don't avoid the discomfort. They embrace it because they know that discomfort is a currency of growth. Every day, life will present you with choices. The choice to take the easy road, to stay in a zone of comfort, or the choice to push yourself past limits, to endure the difficulty that scares you, and to take actions that feel unnatural at first. The difference between those who achieve and those who don't is often found in those moments of decision. Choosing discomfort is what separates a dreamer from a doer. Discomfort is not something to fear, it is something to pursue. When you are challenged, when you are forced to stretch, that is when transformation happens. Every time you push your mind and body beyond what feels safe, you are building the muscle of resilience. You are conditioning yourself to operate at levels that others only aspire to reach. It's uncomfortable, yes, but the reward is unmatched. The human mind naturally seeks ease. It wants routines, familiarity, and comfort. This is survival instinct at its core, but survival is not what leads to greatness. Comfort will keep you average, predictable, and ultimately unfulfilled. The moment you settle into comfort, you stop growing. Every great accomplishment was forged in the fires of difficulty, and that fire is uncomfortable by nature. You may resist discomfort at first. You may argue with yourself, rationalize why it's too hard, or convince yourself that now is not the right time. That's normal. But here's the key. Resistance is the first signal that you are on the right path. The greater the discomfort, the greater the growth. Every time you feel hesitation or fear, lean into it, because that is where greatness is hiding. Discomfort teaches lessons that ease never can. It reveals your limits and shows you how strong you truly are. It forces you to innovate, to find solutions, to dig deeper than you ever thought possible. The challenges you face today are shaping the person you will become tomorrow. If you avoid difficulty, you avoid evolution. If you embrace it, you accelerate it. Imagine a life where you never left your comfort zone. What would it feel like? Predictable, safe, but small. The achievements would be minor, the victories limited, and the impact you leave on the world constrained. Discomfort is the gateway to significance. It is where ordinary people are separated from extraordinary ones. Those willing to endure, to struggle, and to fight through resistance, they are the ones who create legacies. Discomfort also builds character. It strengthens your mind, toughens your resolve, and teaches patience. Every difficult task you complete, every challenge you face head on, adds layers to your confidence and competence. The person who avoids discomfort never learns their full potential. The person who embraces it discovers a depth of ability they never imagined they had. Growth is not linear, and neither is discomfort. It comes in waves, often when you least expect it. Life has a way of testing your commitment, forcing you into situations that push every boundary. Those moments are not punishments, they are opportunities. They are proof that the universe is giving you exactly what you need to rise higher. Comfort will never provide such a chance. Discomfort requires courage. It is easy to stay in familiar routines, to stick with what you know, and to avoid challenges. But courage is taking action even when fear and uncertainty are present. It is deciding that growth, progress, and greatness are worth more than ease. The more you practice stepping into discomfort, the stronger your courage becomes and the less intimidating challenges feel. Discomfort is also a teacher of perseverance. It shows you that quitting is not an option if you want something truly valuable. Every struggle you endure is a rehearsal for the next. Every obstacle you overcome strengthens your capacity to handle greater ones. Life is a series of tests, and discomfort is the classroom. The more time you spend there, the more prepared you are for success. Your body and mind will often resist discomfort because it feels unnatural. The first steps are always the hardest. The first late night, the first early morning, the first time you push beyond what you thought you could handle, it will feel impossible. But each time you force yourself through, you redefine what is possible for yourself. You expand the boundaries of your own capability. Discomfort forces you to innovate. When you are pushed out of your comfort zone, you are forced to think differently, act creatively, and adapt to circumstances you have never faced. Sticking with what is easy never challenges your imagination. Difficult situations force solutions, and solutions build skill, confidence, and opportunity. There is also a quiet pride that comes from embracing discomfort. There is a satisfaction in knowing that you didn't take the easy path, that you faced fear, struggle, and resistance, and you still moved forward. That pride fuels further action, further growth, and further success. It becomes a compounding force in your life. Discomfort is not just an obstacle. It is a companion on the journey to greatness. It is not the enemy. It is the tool, the guide, and the gateway. Those who learn to respect it, embrace it, and harness it achieve more than those who avoid it. It shapes the strongest minds, the boldest spirits, and the most resilient hearts. Every great achievement begins with a willingness to face what is hard. The mind that refuses discomfort is limited, and the life it produces is limited. The mind that embraces it is free, and the life it produces is boundless. Greatness is forged in the struggle, nurtured in challenge, and solidified through the discipline to endure discomfort day after day. Your mind is the battlefield. Every struggle, every challenge, every success or failure begins in the mind. Before you move, before you act, before you take a single step toward your goals, your mind has already decided whether you can or cannot. It whispers doubts, magnifies fears, and sometimes convinces you to give up before the fight even begins. The war is not outside of you. It's inside of you, in the way you think, in the stories you tell yourself, and in the beliefs you carry. The mind has incredible power. It can create victory or it can create defeat, often before circumstances even present themselves. Thoughts are the seeds of action, and the quality of your life is determined by the quality of your thinking. If you allow negative, limiting, or fearful thoughts to dominate, your actions will follow and your results will reflect that mindset. Conversely, when your mind is disciplined, focused, and trained, it becomes unstoppable. Every obstacle you face is first a mental challenge. The mind will test you, asking, can you do this? Is it too hard? Are you ready? It is designed to protect you from harm. But in doing so, it can keep you small. It will resist new experiences, unfamiliar risks, and difficult choices. The battle begins when you refuse to let those protective instincts dictate your life. Mastery of the mind is the foundation of mastery of circumstances. Fear is the mind's default enemy. It exaggerates problems, magnifies doubts, and makes mountains out of molehills. Fear is not external. It is a creation of thought. It can paralyze you if you allow it, or it can sharpen you if you confront it. The moment you recognize that fear is a mental construct, you begin to reclaim control. The mind is powerful, but it is also trainable. And every fear you overcome is a victory in the battlefield of thought. Doubt is another adversary of the mind. It whispers that you are not ready, not capable, or not enough. Every great achievement requires confronting doubt and pushing through it. Doubt will never disappear on its own. It must be faced and dominated. Each time you act despite doubt, you strengthen your mental fortitude and expand the range of what is possible for you. The mind will also challenge your commitment. It will ask, is it worth it? Are you sure? It will make the easy path look attractive and the hard path look impossible. The mental battle is not about eliminating these thoughts. It's about choosing the thoughts that empower you instead of the ones that limit you. Control of your mind is the ultimate form of freedom because it determines the choices you make under pressure. Focus is your weapon in this battlefield. A scattered, distracted mind loses every battle before it begins. Clarity of thought, attention to your goals, and deliberate mental discipline create a foundation that no external circumstance can shake. The more you train your mind to focus, the more resilient it becomes, able to navigate storms, setbacks, and distractions without surrendering to them. The mind is also a filter. It decides what you see, what you hear, and what you believe is possible. Two people can face the same situation and experience it entirely differently because of how their minds interpret reality. Mastering the mind means learning to control that filter, to perceive opportunities where others see obstacles, and to see lessons where others see failure. Mental endurance is forged through struggle. Every time you push through discomfort, doubt, or fear, you are training your mind to operate under pressure. Your brain begins to expect challenges, to anticipate resistance, and to prepare solutions. The battlefield is not just about survival. It is about becoming stronger through every skirmish, every challenge, and every test. Self-talk is another key arena in the battle of the mind. The words you use to speak to yourself are like ammunition. Negative, defeatist words weaken your position. Encouraging, empowering words strengthen it. The moment you learn to command your inner dialogue, you turn your mind from a battlefield into a strategic command center, directing every thought, emotion, and action toward victory. The mind also tests your persistence. It will offer excuses, rationalizations, and temptations to quit. Each challenge it presents is an opportunity to choose discipline over surrender. Every time you resist the urge to quit, you prove to yourself that you are stronger than your circumstances. Mental victories compound into real-world victories over time. Your imagination is both a battlefield and a weapon. The mind will visualize problems, but it can also visualize solutions and outcomes. Successful people are not those who avoid challenges. They are those who train their minds to see possibilities, to rehearse success mentally, and to prepare themselves for action long before it is required. Mental rehear. Sal is as critical as physical action because the mind dictates reality. Resilience is forged in this battlefield. Life will knock you down. Circumstances will overwhelm you, and others may doubt you. But the mind determines whether you rise or stay down. A disciplined mind turns setbacks into lessons, losses into strategy, and challenges into opportunities for growth. Mental resilience is the armor that protects you from the blows of life. The mind can also become a source of creativity and innovation. When disciplined, it analyzes problems, identifies solutions, and generates strategies that others cannot see. The battlefield is not only about defense, it is about conquest. A trained mind can outthink, outmaneuver, and outperform obstacles that would defeat an untrained mind. The ultimate victory is not over circumstances, but over the mind itself. When you command your thoughts, control your fears, and discipline your beliefs, you are unstoppable. Every challenge becomes an opportunity, every setback a lesson, and every obstacle a stepping stone. The battlefield is within, and when you win there, the world outside bends to your will. Persistence overcomes resistance. Life is designed to challenge you at every turn, and every goal worth pursuing will meet opposition. The universe, the circumstances, and even the people around you will often create obstacles that test your commitment. Resistance is inevitable, but persistence is the tool that transforms obstacles into stepping stones. It is the ability to keep moving forward when every reason inside and outside of you says to stop. Every moment of resistance is an opportunity to prove your resolve. It may be a closed door, a failed attempt, or a discouraging word from someone else, but how you respond is what matters most. Persistence is not just about continuing, it is about learning, adapting, and growing strong. Or as you push through every barrier, the more resistance you face, the greater the reward for persistence. Resistance often manifests as doubt. It whispers that your efforts are useless, that the goal is unattainable, and that you are not enough. Doubt is an invitation to strengthen your commitment. Every time you persist despite doubt, you send a clear message to your mind, to the world, and to yourself that quitting is not an option. Resistance is not the enemy. It is the proving ground of your determination. Persistence is built incrementally. It begins with small victories over resistance, like waking up early when you feel tired, making a difficult decision when you feel unsure, or taking action when others hesitate. These small wins compound over time, creating a momentum that makes future resistance easier to face. The person who persists consistently becomes unstoppable because each act of endurance strengthens their capacity for the next challenge. Resistance is often disguised as failure. Every failed attempt, every setback, and every disappointment is a test of persistence. The moment you view failure as a signal to quit, you surrender to resistance. The moment you view failure as feedback and a chance to adjust your strategy, you turn resistance into a teacher. Persistence transforms failure from an end into a stepping stone toward progress. The mind naturally wants to avoid discomfort and struggle. Resistance triggers that instinct. It makes you want to stop, to find an easier path, or to wait for better circumstances. But persistence requires action despite discomfort. It requires doing what is hard when it is hard, even when the world seems to push back. Every act of persistence strengthens your ability to endure the next challenge. Consistency is the engine of persistence. Progress is rarely instant, and resistance is rarely brief. It is a daily, relentless opponent that tests your patience and your focus. Showing up every day, continuing your effort, and refusing to quit even when results are delayed is what separates those who succeed from those who give up. Resistance cannot defeat a mind that refuses to yield. Persistence also fuels creativity and problem solving. When resistance arises, it forces you to think differently, to adapt, and to innovate. Every barrier challenges you to find a new approach, a better method, or a stronger strategy. Those who persist are not just enduring, they are learning, evolving, and becoming more capable with every obstacle they face. Resistance tests your commitment to your goals. It asks, how badly do you want this? Are you willing to fight for it? The person who persists does not measure effort by comfort or convenience. They measure it by dedication and determination. Persistence is the ultimate answer to every no, every closed door, and every setback. It proves that commitment is stronger than opposition. Persistence strengthens resilience. Each time you endure resistance, you develop an inner strength that cannot be taken away. The challenges that once seemed insurmountable begin to feel manageable. The setbacks that once discouraged you become opportunities to build mental toughness. The person who persists is fortified by experience, becoming unshakable in the face of adversity. Resistance is also a teacher of patience. It forces you to recognize that results take time and that growth cannot be rushed. The person who persists understands that delayed outcomes are not failures. They are part of the process. Persistence requires the discipline to continue faithfully, even when immediate rewards are absent. This patience is what separates temporary effort from lifelong achievement. Persistence is contagious. The more you refuse to quit, the more your actions inspire others. People notice those who push through resistance with unwavering determination. Persistence not only builds personal success, but also creates influence, respect, and leadership. Others see your resilience and are motivated to emulate your example, extending the power of your persistence beyond yourself. Resistance often tests belief. It challenges whether you truly trust your abilities, your goals, and your vision. Persistence reinforces that belief by translating it into action. Every step forward in the face of resistance strengthens your confidence and solidifies your trust in yourself. Resistance does not diminish faith. It amplifies it when met with unwavering persistence. Persistence overcomes even external forces. Life will throw obstacles in your path, rejections, criticisms, economic pressures, and unexpected events. These are unavoidable, but persistence ensures that none of them can stop you. It transforms challenges into fuel, setbacks into lessons, and opposition into motivation. The act of refusing to give up turns resistance from a threat into an ally, guiding you toward your next breakthrough. Ultimately, persistence becomes a lifestyle. It is no longer about pushing through once or twice. It becomes a way of thinking, a mindset that sees resistance as normal, necessary, and valuable. Those who adopt persistence as a daily practice stop fearing opposition because they understand that persistence is the bridge between vision and reality, between struggle and success, and between resistance and ultimate achievement. Hard work trumps luck. Too often, people look at success and assume it was a matter of chance. They see the victory, the recognition, or the wealth, and they believe it was given to someone simply because fortune smiled upon them. But luck is fleeting, unpredictable, and unreliable. Hard work, on the other hand, is deliberate, consistent, and controllable. It is the force that transforms ordinary people into extraordinary achievers. Success is rarely a coincidence. It is the result of preparation meeting opportunity. But preparation is the child of hard work. While luck may open a door, hard work allows you to walk through it confidently. You can create your own opportunities through effort, dedication, and relentless commitment. Hard work is the engine that powers potential and converts it into tangible results. Luck is often glorified because it is visible only in the outcome, not in the process. People see the end result and fail to recognize the countless hours, sacrifices, and relentless effort that preceded it. Hard work happens behind the scenes in moments when no one is watching and in tasks that seem small, tedious, or unglamorous. It is in those unseen moments that greatness is forged. Every person who achieves greatness knows that luck alone cannot sustain success. Fortune can favor someone once or twice, but it cannot carry them through the long journey. Hard work is the foundation that ensures consistency, builds skill, and strengthens resilience. While luck may be a spark, hard work is the fire that produces lasting impact. Hard work develops character. It teaches discipline, perseverance, and resilience. When you push yourself to work harder than anyone else, you learn patience, humility, and focus. You discover what you are truly capable of and gain the confidence to pursue goals that once seemed impossible. Luck may grant temporary victories, but hard work creates enduring strength. The grind, the long hours, the repetitive effort. These are what shape success. People who rely on luck may achieve sudden wins, but they're often unprepared for the challenges that follow. Hard work equips you to handle adversity, solve problems creatively, and navigate obstacles that loom. CK alone cannot overcome. Work builds experience, and experience builds results. Hard work compounds over time. Every effort you make, no matter how small, accumulates into momentum. Daily commitment and consistent action build habits that eventually produce breakthroughs. Luck cannot replicate this compounding effect because it is random and inconsistent. Hard work ensures that your progress is steady, predictable, and under your control. Those who work hard create their own luck. By putting in effort, developing skills, and staying prepared, they increase the likelihood of favorable circumstances. Luck often favors those who are ready to seize it, but preparation and persistence are the keys that unlock the door. Hard work turns chance encounters into opportunities and ordinary situations into stepping stones. Hard work also builds credibility. People notice effort, dedication, and results. Success achieved through hard work earns respect and admiration because it reflects integrity and commitment. Luck may be envied, but it is often dismissed or questioned. Hard work commands recognition because it proves that the outcome was earned, not given. Hard work is a teacher. It forces you to confront your weaknesses, adapt to challenges, and refine your skills. Every difficult task, every late night, and every moment of effort provides lessons that luck can never teach. The knowledge and experience gained through persistent work are assets that last a lifetime. Hard work strengthens mental toughness. It conditions you to handle pressure, endure setbacks, and persevere through difficulty. While luck may create temporary highs, it does not prepare you for the lows that inevitably follow. Only hard work builds the resilience required to maintain success and navigate life's unpredictable challenges. Hard work also fosters innovation. When you invest time and effort into mastering your craft, you begin to see possibilities that others overlook. You develop solutions, create systems, and build strategies that give you a competitive edge. Luck cannot replicate the insight, creativity, and foresight that come from deep, consistent effort. Hard work eliminates excuses. When you commit to giving your best consistently, you remove the possibility of blaming circumstances, lack of opportunity, or outside forces. Success becomes a result of your decisions, actions, and effort, rather than randomness or chance. You take full responsibility for your outcomes, and in doing so, you gain control over your life. Hard work is a form of preparation for opportunity. Life may present moments that feel like luck, but without preparation, those moments are wasted. Effort ensures that when doors open, you are ready to step through with confidence, skill, and execution. Hard work maximizes opportunity and turns fleeting moments into lasting achievements. Finally, hard work is the ultimate equalizer. No matter where you start, what resources you have, or the circumstances of your life, consistent effort levels the playing field. Talent and luck may give a head start, but dedication, perseverance, and relentless hard work determine who ultimately succeeds. Those willing to outwork, outlearn, and outlast others create their own destiny independent of chance. Struggle is not a sign of weakness. It is the catalyst for growth. Every challenge you face, every obstacle in your path is an opportunity to expand your capabilities. The discomfort you feel is the signal that you are stretching beyond what is familiar and comfortable. Growth cannot occur in ease. It requires friction, pressure, and challenge. Struggle is the laboratory where strength is tested and character is formed. Life has a way of confronting us with difficulties precisely when we need to evo. Challenges are not random punishments, they are invitations to rise. Each struggle contains a lesson, whether you recognize it in the moment or only in hindsight. Those who resist struggle limit their growth, while those who embrace it accelerate their personal evolution. Struggle is not something to avoid, it is something to seek, learn from, and master. The mind naturally wants to resist struggle. It prefers predictability, safety, and comfort. But every breakthrough in life comes from doing what the mind resists. The harder the task, the more resistance it creates, and the greater the growth it delivers. Struggle stretches the mind, pushes the body, and tests the spirit, creating a more resilient, capable, and disciplined individual. Struggle reveals hidden strengths. When faced with adversity, you discover abilities and reserves of energy you didn't know existed. The pressure of challenge forces creativity, resourcefulness, and problem-solving skills that remain dormant during periods of ease. Each time you navigate struggle successfully, you unlock new potential within yourself. Failure is often disguised as struggle. Every setback, mistake, and disappointment is an opportunity to grow if you approach it with the right mindset. Growth requires reflection, adjustment, and perseverance. Those who embrace struggle see failure as feedback, not as a verdict. Every difficulty is a chance to improve, refine your approach, and become better equipped for future challenges. Struggle builds character. It teaches patience, discipline, and humility. It forces you to confront your limitations, accept responsibility, and develop resilience. The experiences that test you the most often leave the deepest impact, shaping your values, your mindset, and your approach to life. Struggle is a sculptor, carving away weakness and revealing strength. Every great achievement is PR, seeded by struggle. No success story is devoid of hardship. The victories that inspire admiration were won through effort, persistence, and the ability to endure difficult circumstances. Struggle is the bridge between where you are and where you want to be. Those willing to walk across it emerge stronger, wiser, and more capable. Struggle is a teacher of patience. Growth rarely happens overnight, and challenges require sustained effort. The process may be slow, uncomfortable, and frustrating, but persistence through struggle develops endurance. Those who embrace the journey, not just the destination, learn to value the lessons embedded in difficulty. Patience is cultivated in the furnace of struggle. Struggle cultivates resilience. Life will test you in ways that feel overwhelming, but each challenge you face strengthens your ability to cope with future adversity. The more you endure, the more confident you become in your capacity to handle life's storms. Struggle is not permanent, but the resilience it builds lasts a lifetime. Struggle refines priorities when faced with difficulty. You are forced to distinguish what truly matters from what is trivial. Challenges clarify your focus, sharpen your purpose, and reveal the path that aligns with your goals. Those who embrace struggle gain clarity, making decisions with intention rather than reaction. Struggle inspires innovation. When conventional solutions fail, difficulty forces you to think differently, adapt, and find new ways forward. Creativity is often born from adversity, and those who confront challenges with a growth mindset turn obstacles into opportunities. Struggle stimulates learning and innovation in ways comfort never can. Struggle strengthens discipline. It requires consistency, effort, and commitment when circumstances feel unfavorable. The act of persisting through hardship builds habits, routines, and mindsets that support long-term achievement. Discipline cultivated through struggle becomes automatic, preparing you for even greater challenges. Struggle builds empathy. When you face difficulty, you gain a deeper understanding of what others endure. It creates perspective, compassion, and the ability to connect with others on a meaningful level. Growth is not only personal, It extends outward, influencing your relationships, leadership, and impact on the world. Struggle tests courage. Each challenge presents a choice: retreat or advance. Those who embrace struggle demonstrate bravery by confronting uncertainty, fear, and discomfort. Courage grows with each act of facing difficulty head-on, reinforcing the belief that no obstacle is insurmountable. Struggle ultimately transforms potential into reality. It turns ideas into action, dreams into achievements, and plans into results. Without struggle, talent remains latent, opportunity goes unrealized, and potential stays dormant. Growth emerges from the deliberate choice to engage difficulty, to endure discomfort, and to embrace struggle as the path to becoming the person you are meant to be. Action creates victory. Dreams, ideas, and intentions alone cannot produce results. They are seeds, but without action, they remain dormant. Every accomplishment in life begins with a decision to act, followed by consistent effort. The person who takes action transforms potential into reality, while the one who waits and hesitates watches opportunity pass by. Thinking about success, planning for it, and visualizing it are important, but they are only the beginning. Action is the bridge between where you are and where you want to be. Without it, all the knowledge, talent, and preparation in the world are wasted. Victory is earned through doing, not wishing. Action requires courage. The moment you step forward, you expose yourself to uncertainty, risk, and criticism. It is uncomfortable, challenging, and often met with resistance. Yet those who act despite fear and hesitation demonstrate a willingness to claim what is possible. Courage and action are inseparable, and one cannot lead to victory without the other. Consistency amplifies action. Small, persistent steps accumulate over time into major breakthroughs. It is not always the grand gesture that creates victory, but the repeated, deliberate efforts that compound and build momentum. Every day you take action, you strengthen your capacity to achieve, turning incremental effort into monumental results. Action transforms challenges into opportunities. When faced with obstacles, the person who acts seeks solutions rather than excuses. They adjust, adapt, and innovate, using the situation as fuel for progress. Inaction allows problems to grow, but decisive effort converts resistance into growth, setbacks into lessons, and barriers into stepping stones. Action creates clarity. Many people remain stuck because they overthink, hesitate, or wait for the perfect moment. Action eliminates doubt by generating experience and feedback. Each step forward teaches what works and what doesn't, refining strategy and building confidence. Victory emerges not from guesswork, but from deliberate, informed action. Action builds momentum. The first steps are always the hardest, but once taken, they create energy, motivation, and forward motion. Momentum compounds like a snowball, making subsequent challenges easier to face and increasing the likelihood of success. The person who acts continuously gains unstoppable force through each decision and movement. Action demonstrates commitment. Words and intentions are meaningless without execution. Those who take action signal to themselves and others that they are serious about achieving their goals. Consist. NT action builds credibility, accountability, and self-respect, while inaction breeds doubt, regret, and stagnation. Action ignites opportunity. By moving, by trying, and by doing, you place yourself in positions where opportunities appear. Waiting passively leaves the door closed, but action creates openings. Every effort, every initiative, every attempt increases the probability of encountering circumstances that lead to victory. Action strengthens resilience. When you act, you inevitably face setbacks, failures, and mistakes. Each misstep becomes a lesson, a chance to improve, and a step closer to success. Those who act regularly develop the ability to recover, adapt, and persist, turning adversity into fuel for further progress. Action reinforces discipline. Taking steps consistently, even when motivation wanes, builds habits that sustain long-term achievement. Discipline is born not in idle contemplation, but in repeated, intentional effort. Victory is rarely a result of a single act. It is the product of disciplined action over time. Action cultivates confidence. Every completed task, every challenge overcome, and every small success reinforces belief in your abilities. Confidence is built through experience, and experience comes from doing. Hesitation breeds doubt, but action breeds assurance and mastery. Action inspires others. When you move decisively toward your goals, you influence those around you. People are drawn to initiative and determination. Leaders are not only defined by their vision, but by their willingness to act on it. Action sets an example and motivates others to pursue their own victories. Converts vision into reality. Ideas, dreams, and goals are powerful, but they are only abstract until acted upon. Execution transforms potential into tangible results. The person who consistently acts sees their plans materialize, their dreams take shape, and their aspirations fulfilled. Action is the ultimate equalizer. Talent, resources, and circumstances matter, but decisive effort levels the playing field. Those willing to act persistently can overcome limitations, surpass competitors, and create outcomes that seem impossible to those who hesitate. Victory belongs to those who do, not to those who wait.